Hello and welcome to another of the iETSIT video tutorials. In this one we will be talking about the iOS app. So, as a brief reminder, let's start with what is iETSIT. As we know, iETSIT is an app for iOS and Android. It is aimed at students who are studying or are thinking of coming over to study at iETSIT. It consists of three main elements: an iOS app, an Android app, and a web server. In this tutorial we will be looking at the iOS app. So, what does it have? It works from iOS 5 to the latest version of iOS, which is currently 6.1.3. Also, it is an adaptive app. It means it's able to detect what device we're using and provide the best user experience. For instance, it can detect if we're on an iPad, on an iPhone 4, an iPhone 4S, an iPhone 5, an iPod Touch, and adapt to it. It supports all the orientations to make things much more comfortable, and it is especially designed to meet Retina display specifications by using stunning images and great HD videos. Regarding the technical details, it has been designed with native code to provide the best user experience. This means it was developed using Xcode with Objective-C. It also displays the screens in both English and Spanish by looking up the language the user has set up on the device, which means it is an international app. This will be thoroughly explained in the video tutorial. And another important thing to note is that it works with different storyboards for each device. In this way we get the best user experience and make the most of the canvas available. This is particularly important in devices like the iPad, where the screen is much bigger than an iPhone. We will now go on to the walkthrough, which will consist in 5 main sections where I will talk you through the different tabs and sections: the app sports, which are iETSIT, experiences, news, subjects, and utilities, and at the end we will talk about a little bit about internationalization, and we will see how it works on different devices. Hello and welcome to iETSIT for iOS. In this video tutorial I will walk you through the different features available so you know perfectly how to use them and what you can find. As you can see, as soon as I open the app, I am presented with the iETSIT section. The sections are access to the tab bar controller here. We will talk about them in detail throughout the video. The iETSIT section is probably the section you will spend most time with. As you can see, as it is the first, we have a button here to redirect into a tutorial. By clicking it, you have this text telling you a bit about what each section is about, the possibility to contact me, view in this video tutorial, but one of the great things is the thorough social integration the app follows. For instance, if you'd like to tell your friends about this app, you just have to click on the Facebook button. This shows up this awesome Facebook dialog from iOS 6 that simply tells you to check out iETSIT, adds an image. You can even add your location, choose which friends you want to share with. It's just so simple, everything is done for you. Then, thanks to iOS 5, we also get a Twitter dialog. Simple, effective, telling us to check out iETSIT. With the image here, we can add our location. As you can see, it's effortless. We don't have to write anything. We can change things, of course, but if we don't want to, everything is given to us. Going back to the main section, we get this feature called At a Glance. We have noticed that in our stay in iETSIT, there are 4 main web pages that you have to visit every day. They are the ones that contain all the information you need on your day-to-day basis. So that made me think, what if there was a way to view them in just one single glance? A view! Imagine you get on the morning and boom, there you have your 4 main web pages. But they are fully functional web pages. This means you can navigate through them, you can enter a link, you can change, move, zoom, and even you can refresh all of them just in one go. Simple, quick, fast, efficient. But there may be situations where you would like to see a web page independently. Let's say, for example, the iETSIT web page. No problem whatsoever. Here you have the web page in a fully functional web browser implemented exclusively for this app. For example, we can go into something, then we can go back, refresh the web page, tell our friends what we're seeing. See, here we are even attaching the link. Same works for Twitter. And of course, how not, Facebook. Email, sorry. But the thing is, this is a Spanish web page, and we could be English and not be so familiar with Spanish. So why not translate it? Just click on the English button. This is integrated with the Google Translator API, and we just get this web page in English in this record time. It works perfectly. This web browser has been implemented throughout the app to provide users with an incredible and never seen experience. Along with this, we get lots of web pages like the ETSIT International web page. No lag whatsoever. The ETSIT library catalog in case we want to look for a book, no problem. Sport facilities, official studies Moodle, /that, whatever, we have everything. Another key feature I would like to show you is the image gallery. The image gallery is great. It gives people who are not students from the ETSIT a great view of what we have, our surroundings, our different classrooms. See how quick it is. Simple. Imagine you want to see an image in depth. For example, the first one. You just have to click on it, and there it goes, boom. Apart from seeing it, we can post them to Facebook with this dialog. And here we're selecting the image. Or perhaps want to go to Twitter and give our followers the image. This is very important because when someone is going to study abroad, opinions and sharing with friends becomes vital. So why would anyone have to exit the app? You just have to use the app and use the resources available to get the awesome experience you're expecting. Another thing that I've worked really hard with is the Twitter integration. Not only can you tweet, but you can see the tweets received into different accounts. For example, if I select ETSIT Twitter, I am now seeing the tweets sent to and from ETSIT. This means I get incredible news and an incredible way of interacting with the latest tweets. Imagine, for instance, I want to share this tweet. I simply have to click on top of it, tap, and now I get the Share Center. The Share Center asks me if I would like to tweet to the author, in case I would like to ask for more information. Or maybe I want to take the content of this tweet and tweet it to my followers, so I just have to click on Tweet Content. Or maybe I want to share everything by email. I want to tell a friend I was searching this on Twitter, I saw who wrote it and what it says, and ask for his opinion, or whatever. I can modify this without any problems. It is a full integration. Or maybe just take the content and post it, just like I did with email. But perhaps we are more of someone who wants to just post about the search, telling your friends what you're seeing. Everything is so integrated, so well thought. Imagine now we're seeing UPM. UPM has much more tweets, obviously, but look at the load time. It works seamlessly. There are no lags whatsoever. And this is what makes iETSIT so great. No problem whatsoever. The user experience is simply great. So, this closes our ETSIT section. Let's move to experiences. Experiences is the best way to see what people think that have already studied in ETSIT, particularly for international students. If I click on it, I get these three, for now, examples. They are people, one of them is me, who studied in ETSIT, and this way you can get first-hand information of their experience, of how they felt, what difficulties they had, what they liked, what they disliked. This is great for when making your decisions. Imagine I click on one of the experiences, for example this one. I get the dates he was in ETSIT, a photo, text, but it goes beyond that. I can post to Facebook, Twitter, I can send everything I'm seeing by email, including the photo. But I can do so much more. I can contact that person. If he has provided his contact details, I can send him an email. See? Here, his email address is just popping up. Or maybe I would like to see his Facebook profile. There we go. Here it is. Or I could tweet him directly on Twitter. But something really important when viewing our experience is where that person comes from. I can do that easily by clicking on the map. This redirects me to a fully functional map where I can see where that person was when he wrote his experience. But not only can I see that, I can zoom in and out. I can even change the map type. Why not? I could go for a standard map. Typical map. Or maybe I would like hybrid map, satellite map with an overlay with the names. Of course, always with the possibility of sharing on email, Twitter, Facebook, or I could even ask where I am in comparison to this person. So simple, so easy. Great. Let's look at the news section. The news section, this is the way to find out what is the latest events and things happening on iETSIT. It works with the server just as I experienced it, and it downloads everything so fast and so seamlessly. Imagine here I'm interested in the English language conversation debate in iETSIT. I just have to click on it, and boom, there I go. I know where it is taking place, when it is taking place, and I have it in text. I could go to navigate to other news. For instance, this one is a longer text. It's presented to me in a scroll view. But imagine I would like to go to Facebook and post it. Why not? Why not give it on Twitter, email, send everything by email? Simple. You can let your friends know what's going on, share with them. And so in this way, not only are you getting all the information you need, but you have the complete power to share that information. But it goes beyond that. We can even get directions to where we're going. It uses our current location to tell us where the event is and how we want to go there. Imagine we want to go walking or by public transport. It is so simple. And in this way, if we choose to go, for example, by car, we would have a fully functional GPS with directions telling us where to go. So simple. Let's move on. Subjects. Subjects is a way to find information about everything you need concerning what you're going to study. Imagine, for instance, you would like to know information about a subject. Let's say ORGE, Organización de Empresas. It is about economics and business organization. I could just type in the syllables and ask for a Google search. Maybe I could list. But I could also go to Twitter and see what people are saying about this subject. That way I can really get a hype of what people are saying. Or I can go to Slashdot and make this a student search to see what people think about the subject, what problems they have, how they are dealing with it, etc. Of course, this is in Spanish, but we know our web browser is so intelligent it can translate it to English in just 1 second. Perfect. With this section, finding information about subjects has never been easier. Finally, we get the utilities section. The utilities section is a sort of toolbox. Inside it, we get 3 other sections. We have the transport section, the lodging section, and the Spanish tips section. Let's start with transport. Transport helps you get to the most important place. For example, let's say you want to get to iETSIT. I just have to click on the map. Here I get a pin showing where the iETSIT is. I can change the map type as before. I can even ask where am I. I'm not gonna do this now because in the simulator it'll say I'm in Cupertino, but it works perfectly on devices. And then of course I could ask for directions. This will redirect me to the Google Maps API and give me fully directions from my location, just as before. I have fully functional GPS to get wherever I want. The same works for the UPM administration, but transport doesn't stop there. It has metro plans, in case you need them, with a scroll. It has metro plans with annotations, with the most important locations marked. It even has access to the interactive planner on the metro, so you can tell it where you're going and find your best route. So that's transport. The best way to get to the places you want, as easy and as efficient as you want, with all the fares, everything integrated. Lodgings. Lodgings tells you places to stay. But not only does it tell you places to stay, it also helps you plan trips while you are here. And Spanish Tips shows quick and easy conversation guides. Let's say you need basic expressions. Well, here they go. Basic words in English and then translation to Spanish. Not only can you do that, but you can also send that image directly to your social networks, just like you can do in all your app. You can share anywhere. This is great because if you have any language details, you just have to go to the correct section. Imagine you're in a bar, for instance, Well, there you go. Basic vocabulary for a bar. No problem. Maybe you're at a restaurant. I need some help. Well, basic vocabulary for a restaurant. Always being able to share. But it goes more. It's been integrated with the Google Translator. So, if I write here what I want to say, hello, how are you? And I want to translate it to Spanish, I just click go, and there we have it. Simple in a app, with the possibility of sharing, of course. So, this finishes our brief preview of iETSIT. Another key feature of the app is internationalization. This means that before I showed you all the app working in English, but imagine I have an iPad or an iOS device working in Spanish. Well, that's no problem at all, because the app is capable of detecting that and adapting to change everything. In this case, as you can see, this is now Spanish. So if I scroll over and select iETSIT, I now have the same app I had before, but working in Spanish. As you can see, everything is now in Spanish. All the dialogues, everything I saw before, even the tab bar controller, it just works. It's just in Spanish, no need for the user to change anything. The app is capable of detecting the language and then adjusting itself accordingly. Everything works the same, of course. Even the tutorial has the text in Spanish. Contact, detail, Facebook, everything just flows in the same way. Another important feature I would like to show you now is that the app works perfectly both on an iPad or an iPhone. I decided to do the walkthrough on an iPad because as it's bigger, it's easier to see things, but now I have an iPhone here, an iPhone 4S. So if I choose to open the app, here it goes. Everything's adapted to it. No lag whatsoever, no? It's the same experience, no compromise. Why should the user have to compromise anything? Just works in the same spectacular way you have seen up to now. But this continues with even Retina displays. For example, I would like to change this to the 4-inch Retina display iPhone. Scale it down a bit, and it works just as well. iETSIT looks gorgeous everywhere. Scrolls perfectly, loads experiences. We even make use of the bigger screen to provide the user with the best experience ever. Everything just works. There's no need to worry about what device the user has, because iETSIT will look gorgeous and perfect in all of them.